If you walked into an observant Jewish bedroom right now, you would notice something sitting beside the bed that most people would never expect. Not a book, not a phone, not a glass of water for drinking. A cup. A specific kind of cup, with two handles, sitting on a small basin or tray, filled with water, prepared the night before. Waiting. And the moment the person in that bed opens their eyes in the morning, before they check their phone, before they speak a word, before they even put their feet on the floor, they reach for that cup. And they pour water, 3 times, alternating between their right hand and their left. Right, left, right, left, right, left. 6 pours, 3 on each hand. And only then do they begin their day. This ritual has been performed by Jewish families every single morning for over 1,000 years. And what the Zohar says is happening in that bedroom while the family sleeps is something most people have never been told. Welcome. What you are about to learn is one of the most intimate and most powerful traditions in all of Jewish daily life. A ritual so ancient that it is written into Jewish law, the Shulchan Aruch, and so personal that it happens in the first seconds of every single morning. By the end of this video, you will understand what that cup beside the bed is actually for, and what Jewish wisdom says has been happening in your home every night while you sleep. Before we go further, subscribe right now. Every week, this channel goes deeper into the practical wisdom of the Jewish people, traditions that have guided and protected one of the most resilient communities in human history. One tap, and let's begin. To understand why the cup matters, you first need to understand what Jewish tradition teaches happens to every person the moment they fall asleep. The Zohar, the central text of Jewish mysticism, teaches something extraordinary. During sleep, the soul partially ascends. It leaves the body, not entirely, but in a significant portion, rising upward to be renewed, recharged, and reconnected to its divine source. This is why, in Jewish tradition, sleep is sometimes called 1/60th of death. Not as a morbid metaphor, but as an accurate description of what is spiritually occurring. The soul's temporary departure leaves the body in a state of vulnerability. And the Zohar teaches that during this window, while the soul is ascending and the body lies unguarded, a spiritual impurity called Ruach Ra'ah, an impure spirit, settles on the hands. Not as a punishment, not as a curse, simply as a natural consequence of the soul's departure, the way dust settles on a surface that has been left still. The Talmud, in Tractate Shabbat, is very specific. This impurity rests on the hands during sleep and can only be removed by washing each hand 3 times with water, alternating hands. Right, left, right, left, right, left. Each alternating pour removes another layer until the hands are clear, and the day, the real day, can begin. Now, why a specific cup beside the bed? Why not simply walk to the bathroom sink? The Zohar answers this directly. One should not walk more than 4 cubits, approximately 6 feet, from the bed before washing. This is why the cup is prepared the night before, placed within arm's reach, so that the moment of waking and the moment of washing are separated by nothing more than the reaching of a hand. Chabad.org describes it simply. Before sleep, prepare a cup of water and an empty basin and place it beside your bed. And Jewish law, the Shulchan Aruch, specifies that the cup itself should have 2 handles. Why 2 handles? Because the washing is done by pouring with one hand onto the other, and a 2-handled cup can be easily transferred from the washed right hand to the left and back again, without the washed hand touching the unwashed one. The design of the cup is itself a teaching. This ritual requires precision. It requires intention. It requires that each hand be honored individually, washed separately, before they work together. Every individual is a priest in the temple of his or her home and heart, and a priest begins each morning with ritual washing before beginning the sacred work of the day. Now here is the teaching that most people never hear. The soul does not just leave during sleep, it returns. And what the Zohar says it brings back from its nightly ascent is remarkable. The Zohar teaches that the soul rises to reconnect with its divine source and returns carrying renewed spiritual energy, a portion of heavenly light that was unavailable to it during the waking hours. This is why Jewish tradition teaches that the first words spoken upon waking each morning should be the Modeh Ani, a brief prayer of gratitude. I offer thanks to you, living and eternal King, for you have mercifully restored my soul to me. Great is your faithfulness. Not a prayer asking for things, a prayer of acknowledgement that something was taken and returned. That sleep was not just rest, it was a renewal. That the day beginning now is not a continuation of yesterday. It is a gift, a new beginning, delivered every morning by the same mechanism, the soul's departure, its renewal, and its return. And the cup beside the bed, ready before the eyes are even open, is the first physical act that honors that return. What we are describing is a morning ritual so carefully designed, so rooted in a specific understanding of what sleep actually is, that it has been performed unchanged for over 1,000 years. If this is landing for you, hit the like button right now. 1 second. It helps more people find these teachings. And subscribe, because what comes next reveals the other half of this tradition. What Jewish wisdom says to do at the other end of the day, before sleep, that protects the soul during its nightly ascent. Now, the cup beside the bed is only half of the picture, because Jewish tradition is equally specific about what should happen at the other end, the moment before sleep. The Talmud teaches that there is a mitzvah, a sacred obligation, to recite the Shema before falling asleep. Not just the 6 words of the central declaration, "Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one," but a full set of prayers known as Kriyat Shema al-Hamitah, the recitation of Shema upon the bed. This includes a personal accounting of the day, an honest review of actions, words, and intentions, a declaration of forgiveness, releasing anyone who may have wronged you before surrendering to sleep. Specific psalms: Psalm 91, the great psalm of divine protection, recited as a shield around the sleeping person, and the Hamapil blessing, asking God specifically for peaceful sleep, for protection during the night, and for the soul's safe return in the morning. The bedtime Shema is considered the last conscious spiritual act before surrendering to sleep, setting the tone not just for the night, but for the morning that follows. Because Jewish tradition understands, how you end one day determines how the next begins. A person who falls asleep with words of Torah on their lips, who has forgiven those who wronged them, who has reviewed their actions honestly, is a person whose soul ascends already prepared, already clean, already carrying something worth bringing back. Now step back for a moment, because what we have been describing is not 2 separate rituals. It is a single, complete system, designed by ancient Jewish wisdom, to treat the transition between waking and sleeping as one of the most spiritually significant moments in a human life. At night, the Shema is recited, the day is reviewed, forgiveness is offered, the soul is prepared for ascent. During sleep, the soul rises, the body rests, the impure spirit settles on the hands. In the morning, the soul returns, carrying renewed light. The Modeh Ani is spoken, gratitude, first. The cup is reached for, immediately. The hands are washed, 6 alternating pours. The day begins, clean. This system treats every single morning as a small resurrection, as a renewal, as an opportunity that did not have to be given, and was given anyway. The Modeh Ani itself acknowledges this. Great is your faithfulness. Not thank you for another day, but quote, your faithfulness is great. The trust that each morning the soul will be returned, that renewal will come, is itself something to be grateful for. And the cup beside the bed is the first physical confirmation that this trust was well placed. The soul came back. The water is waiting. The day can begin. A cup with 2 handles, filled the night before, placed within arm's reach, waiting beside the bed of an observant Jewish home, rooted in a teaching from the Zohar about what happens to the soul during sleep. Confirmed in Jewish law, the Shulchan Aruch, remover, as one of the first acts of every waking day. And connected to a complete system, Shema at night, Modeh Ani in the morning, that treats the boundary between sleep and waking as sacred ground. What strikes me most about this tradition is not the ritual itself. It is what it reveals about how Jewish wisdom sees ordinary life. Every morning is not just a continuation, it is a return, a gift, a small proof, repeated every day, that something vast and faithful is paying attention. And the cup beside the bed, simple, practical, always ready, is the first reminder of that truth every single morning. Before you go, I want to ask you something personal. What is the first thing you do in the first 30 seconds of your morning? Before you check your phone, before you speak, before you do anything? Write it in the comments below. I want to know, honestly, what the very first moment of your day looks like. I read every single comment, and this community gives some of the most honest answers I have ever read. If this video gave you something, a new way of seeing sleep, of seeing morning, of seeing the ordinary objects beside your bed, hit the like button right now. It helps more people find these teachings. And subscribe, because next week we are revealing another ancient Jewish wisdom about the home, one that has been quietly practiced in Jewish households for thousands of years, and that changes how you see one of the most important transitions of every single day. One tap to subscribe. Thank you for being here. Shalom.